Hello my dear students, welcome back to Learn Eco with Fun. Today I am going to discuss the same chapter and its name is supply. But in this video we will learn about the movement along the supply curve and it is known as change in quantity supplied. Movement along the supply curve. Okay, so movement along the supply curve, why it happens? Okay, this is the most important questions. So it is also known as change in quantity supplied. Okay, so change in quantity supplied. So change in quantity supply occurs due to change in price. It happens due to change in price. Movement along the supply curves happens due to change in price or change in quantity supplied takes place due to change in price. Clear? So if the price will change, automatically there are two kinds of movement. Leads to movement along the supply curve. Clear? So there are two kinds of movement. One is known as upward movement and other is known as downward movement. Okay, upward movement is also known as expansion of supply. Expansion of supply, and it is known as contraction of supply. Is it clear? So upward movement and downward movement, it happens due to change in price, and due to change in price it is also known as change in quantity supply. It can be explained with the help of a diagram. Suppose this is the y-axis, this is the x-axis. Here that is the price. P is the price and this is the quantity supply. Here, so OP is the price and at this price the quantity supply is OP. So as the price increases from OP to OP1, the quantity supply increases This is the supply line. So that is known as expansion of supply. Listen once again, when the price of the commodity is OP, the quantity supply is OQ, and as the price price increases from OP to OP1, quantity supply also increases from OQ to OQ1. Due to that, the supply curve moves upwards, and that is known as upward movement of supply curve or expansion of supply. So in case of downward movement, what it is the opposite of it. On the y-axis, that is the price, and on the x-axis, that is the quantity supply. Okay, so suppose the initial price is OP and initial quantity supply is OQ. Now the price has reduced from OP to OP1, and that's why the quantity supply has also reduced from OQ to OQ1, and here the supply curve moves downwards. Okay, so it is known as contraction of supply and expansion of supply. So expansion of supply is an upward movement. Okay, that is the suppose write down here the name A, B, here also A, B. So expansion of supply means the supply curve move upwards from A to B or from OQ to OQ1 as the price increases from OP to OP1. But in case of contraction of supply or downward movement of supply curve, the supply decreases, moves downwards from A to B as the price falls from OP to OP1, or the quantity supplied decrease from OQ to OQ1. Is it clear? And I hope you are able to understand in a better way, that is the movement along the supply curve. Now come to the shift of supply. This is the movement of supply. Now come to the shift of supply. Shift of supply. One thing always remember in your mind, here price will remain constant. Shift of supply occurs due to other factors. It happens due to other factors except price. So there are two kinds of shift. One is known as rightward shift, and another is known as leftward shift. It is also known as increase in supply known as decrease in supply. Okay, so shift of supply. Shift of supply means that is the other factors, such as the shift of supply occurs due to other factors when the price will remain constant. There are two kinds of shift. One is the rightward shift, other is leftward shift. It is also known as increase in supply or decrease in supply. So increase in supply when the supply curve moves rightwards, and decrease in supply when the supply moves leftward. Okay, so leftward means left hand side. If the supply moves towards the left hand side, it can be also explained with the help of following diagrams. So suppose this is the price OP. This is the quantity supplied. Okay, so here I have taken quantity supplied. Quantity supplied. OP is the price which is constant, and that's why it is a straight line. Okay. Let the initial supply is SS means OQ, because supply line intersect the price line at point A, and that's why I have determined the OQ quantity supplied. When the number of firms increases, listen, when the number of firms increases, if the government policy has changed, means reduction in taxes, maximum subsidies is given, if the improved technology is used, so what will happen? The cost of production will decrease and the supply will increase. So these are the factors due to that the supply curve moves rightwards, right hand side, and it intersects the price line at point B, and the new quantity supply has increased from OQ to OQ1, and the supply, this supply curve shift rightwards, and this is known as increase in supply or rightward shift in supply. Clear? So when the supply curve moves rightwards due to any other factors except price, because here the price is constant, then it is known as rightward shift of supply or increase in supply. Clear? Now come to the leftward supply curve. In this situation, what will happen? The supply curve will shift leftwards, that is the S2, S2, and the supply has decreased from OQ to OQ2, because at point C the supply line intersects the price line. So it indicates that the quantity supplied is only OQ2, and this is known as leftward shift or decrease in supply. Again, it happens due to uses of old technology. Next, number of firms has decreased. Next, the government policy has changed, means taxation has increased and subsidies has been removed. Next, goal of the firm is also important for that, and due to that the supply curve shift leftwards. Okay, so you will keep it in your mind. The factors is the important for the movement of, for the shifting of the supply curve, either rightward and leftward. And I hope you will be able to write the answer in a better way. If a question comes, suppose what will happen if the number of firms has increased in the economy? So if the number of firms has increased and the price of the commodity is constant, it means the quantity supplied will increase, and due to that the supply curve moves rightwards from SS to S1, S1, and the quantity supplied increased from OQ to OQ1. Now, if a question comes in the exam, explain what will happen if the government has increased the taxation and reduced the subsidies. So, here the marginal production cost will increase. In other words, we can say the profitability of the farm will decrease. So, in this situation, what will happen? The cost of production is increasing. Due to that, the farm is ready to supply less quantity. So, supplied curve will shift leftwards, okay, which intersect the price line at C. So, initial supply was OQ, which has reduced up to OQ2. So, it indicates that if there is no change in the price, however, the supply has decreased, and that is known as decreased in supply. So, another question may be asked, what is the difference between contraction of supply and decrease in supply? What is the difference between increase in supply and expansion of supply? And I hope you will be able to give the answer in a better way. Okay. Now come to the next topic. Here the topic is not given. Here I am going to write when the increase in supply will take place and when the decrease in supply take place. Increase in supply happens due to what? Decrease in the price of inputs. Increase in supply occurs, or right word shift of supply occurs when first increase in number of firms, increase in the price of related goods, improvement in technology, fall in the price in near future, next goal of the firm, or expansion of market to capture the market. To capture the market. Any point more? Government policies, fall in taxation, I have not written. Rise in subsidies. Okay, so these are the factors due to that the supply curve shift rightwards, and vice versa, decrease in supply supply, that is the vice versa. Okay, or just opposite to it. So here we can say that increase in the price of other goods, increase in the price of factors of production, goal of profit maximization, uh, decrease in number of firm, expectation to rise in the price in future, poor. So these points indicates either the supply curve will shift rightwards or leftwards. Okay, and in this way the supply chapter has finished. Thank you.